Hello, and welcome to Reaper Miniatures. Welcome to Reaper Errant, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. So we, as you see, there's a missing box there. Jason cannot make it this evening, and we look forward to his return in a future game. But we will continue to play this evening. Let's see. I also want to kind of get rolling quick because I took time. It was my delay. I will let the delay on me. I'll own it. I want to say the thank yous. I want to say thank you to Reaper Miniatures for allowing this awesome game to happen. I want to say thank you to Sirenscape for some of the background and ambient music that you will hear today during the stream. And thank you to all of you for watching and following along in this wonderful story. And I always want to thank the players. This time, I'm still going to thank the players. Thank you for playing. It's so enjoyable. But I will also thank them by making sure they get a chance to say hi and introduce who they're playing and introduce themselves as well. We'll start with the traditional upper left with Bobby.
Hello again, good evening and welcome. I'm Bobby Jackson. I play the mighty and indomitable Pugh, gnome bard, armed with my trusty war harp and positive mental attitude.
Thank you. Gene.
Hi, I'm Gene Van Horn. I'll be playing Gooseneck, the lizard folk barbarian, and I'm going to be whackety-whacking with my axe.
All right. Michael.
Frank, you're very much welcome.
Good. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm happy.
You're welcome. My name's Michael, and I'll be playing Abran, the more mighty and totally abdominal wood elf ranger. Positive mental attitude. He's working on that.
Is he?
Takes time.
No, not really.
One fireball at a time.
Yeah, one fireball at a time.
It doesn't seem to be much work.
Special conditional training. Rhonda.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bender, and I'm playing Fathom, the tiefling magic-using person. We're not talking about where the magic comes from. At least not in this lawful town.
No, that's fair. Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I play Kay Nimblewit, a human rogue. How do you make it a war harp exactly? Do you paint it with woad or give it tattoos or?
I just use it for violent purposes. I don't know. I had a war shawm which I could actually thump people with, and I just replaced shawm with
thump them with your harp.
Spiel.
Yeah.
Harps are bigger.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work as
I think
well.
that's good for the
You
string.
just have to tune it a little more.
Thanks for pointing out the lapse in my little spiel there, Jen.
Oh, but now I
glue
think
some
we
spikes on
need
it.
some artwork of Pujol smacking somebody over the head with his harp.
Yep.
Yeah,
Agreed.
war harp.
I have pictured it since you started saying war harp. I'll at least give you my picture as like the flag bearer standard. It's almost like a pole, and the harp is coming off of it, and the top's got a little standard on it.
Like an axe.
Could be like an axe. Yeah, like an axe, but the harp is the blade. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine it like something like Gene Simmons would carry around.
Oh. So you are as tall as everybody else. You just got some really thick boots.
Monster boots.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know that part.
Spiky codpiece.
Oh, we definitely need to see the new art on this.
Yeah.
Oh, that would go so well with Abran. Okay. There's a band for me.
Okay. All right. We need to change the subject.
Okay.
It's going to be a disco band now.
Yeah.
What?
El Lagarto's
I
not
liked where it was
carrying you
going.
around with those spikes.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
That's
And-
fair.
Just saying.
So when we last left, I guess I should say I'm Frank, and I'm DM for this game, which probably makes sense if you know D&D. So when we were last playing, they The best thing is reading this off of the whole Kay's journal, which Jen writes on her blog. And so, if recent updates, you could read it too. But they acquired a wagon with some expensive things in them. And they are looking for a place to sell them still. They are selling the wagon with the same person they are selling a boat with. And the person thinks they could get a good buyer. It is also important that to note that they said they would send a runner if they found that buyer, so that the group can be there for the sale of said wagon. I guess it's fair to say they acquired it from what was apparently a vampire, and their vampire spawn, perhaps. Not really sure.
A dead vampire.
Now
2 dead vampires.
And now dead vampire as opposed to undead.
Dead again.
If they were vampires, weren't they technically dead before?
Yeah, well, is undead
now they're
dead?
ash.
Now they're ash, exactly.
They're done and dusted. Yes.
Perfect. And then they also had a run-in with 2 very dangerous magical of the divine side, like assassins perhaps, that were perched out over where this speech is going to occur. And they cleared a building, found them in there, up to no good, clearly, and waiting for the speech to begin. So they handled that. We're not going to begin the speech today, though, because you got word. This boy comes up to you as you're hanging out about somewhere. Let me pull your minis out. Probably somewhere.
We
in
were
town.
taking a coffee break after we had to deal with those assassins, right?
We needed a coffee break. After
Speaking of, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm still poisoned from those assassins.
Let's remove that status. The way we try to play this game is a fresh slate most of the time. So let's go ahead and have a long rest, and you are no longer poisoned. And I'll tell you
we'll take
long rest.
We all get a long
all
rest.
those clerics sitting right there.
Yes, you all get a long rest. And
Long rest taken.
I'm going to put you here, taking a nice little breather by a field. You found a lovely field. But it's clearly real crops. Planted. They're planted.
Wheat, sorghum, barley, rye.
Ooh.
Milo.
Sort of
Tasty vegetables.
rows
Alfalfa.
of vegetables. Rows of vegetables, exactly.
Marijuana.
Nope, not hemp nor cannabis.
Awful town.
Down.
I mean,
It could be
different
legal.
times.
Get some waffles.
Well, that's true. It could be legal.
Yeah.
And when you are approached by this younger running child, you can see them a mile, well, maybe not a mile away, but you can see them quite a ways away, running up to you, where we can be. And they just kind of trudge through this person's goods, this garden or this field, whatever.
Oh, the poor vegetables.
Stepping on all the tomatoes and cucumbers.
Careful, he's armed.
Yeah, he's got a stick. So, yeah, you see him running up to you. And that's where we'll begin.
Oh there, youngster, what's going on? Why are you crushing all those vegetables?
Oh, am I? Oh, no. Oh, no. And he just sort of double takes, does a little stumble. He's got a little letter in his hand, open. It's not signed or sealed or anything like that. And he says, I was told I could find you somewhere up here. I think it's you. It's a lizard person, a gnome, and someone with horns. I don't see anybody else like that.
That sounds like us.
Probably fair.
Hand over the letter, son. And here's a copper piece for your troubles. Who sent you?
Oh, I don't know. Well, it was down by the docks. He said to tell you your wagon can be sold, but where it was being sold.
Oh, okay. Who went with Corncob when we sent the wagon?
I think it was
Is
Kay.
that Kay?
Kay did.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's read this letter, and I guess we need to go look at the wagon. Yeah.
Let's do that.
What does the letter say?
So the letter basically, well, I won't basically. It's very short. It's scrawled out. It's signed. You recognize the signature. You recognize the scrawl. It tells you that the wagon, there's an interested party in the wagon, but they want it delivered to them in the cliffs, which you've known since you've been here. The cliffs are the wealthy side of town. There is one deep dock down, so there's a sheer cliff wall and some stairs carved into it that lead down to some docks that are just docks by the cliffs, but it's very deep so they can get large boats in there. And the wealthier side of town is where that is. You also know that the Broken Bell is in that direction as well.
And so, are we supposed to go?
Well, he tells you to meet him and he'll drive the wagon up and meet him at the home of Margaret Fairweather. This is where you might pen and pencil.
Has this boy ever heard of this Margaret Fairweather? Are the Fairweathers a name?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of the Fairweathers. Their trade is phenomenal. They have plants. They sell plants. I don't know what kind of plants they are. I got slapped one time for asking. I don't know, but yeah, I've heard their name before.
Okay, so do you know where their house is?
Oh, well, I don't go that way much, but I heard Johnny said that there was a big tree out front that was always pretty, and there were always apples on the ground, and you could get them if you could run fast enough. But I've never been up that way.
That probably sounds like a good place for you to avoid.
Yeah.
But we got instructions about where to go, right? So we know where we're going.
Yeah, it's short, but
Right.
It's instructive enough to tell you where to find this place.
Okay, so we're meeting the broker up at the house.
Yep.
Correct? Okay, well then let's
How do you
mosey.
get a
Everybody.
cart up the cliff?
Horses.
Oh, there's a rope.
You haven't turned your horses in yet. They're still using the ones you rented. You're a horse person.
Yeah.
Your 5 gold of currency is good for a while with him.
We need to clean out the if we're gonna sell this wagon, we need to get some of the stuff out of it though, right? Like
Didn't
the
we do that
saffron.
already?
I thought,
I thought we did.
had some
It's all in the
warehouse
wagon.
space with it.
It's all in the wagon.
We rented warehouse space with the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was
We
some
rented warehouse space for all that stuff.
Yep. So you have it. It's easy enough. I can That's a simple hand wave type thing if you want to leave what you want or bring what you want, because the broken bell is up here. So it's possible you may just want to handle it all at once and just make sure your stuff is in there too.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I'm making sure John has something for his
So we're
rest.
going to visit a fence and a fancy person who sells plants you can't ask about.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued already.
Sounds about right.
Maybe we can sell that saffron.
See what the plants are all about.
Let's see. Let me get. Okay, so yeah, see what the plants are all about. That's totally true. So let me go ahead and move you all there. You can't, of course, you can't miss your wagon, and you can't miss the house as you approach, because it is fancy. Well, it's not fancy. It's actually rather plain, but it's well kept, and so it looks.
Curse 13 is a person after my own heart.
Uh-oh. Was someone asking to fireball somebody?
I'm kind of sad we have to sell the wagon.
Fireball
It's a really
plants.
cool wagon.
Yep. I know. Abrant's a little sad too. He wanted to watch it burn. We make some money.
Oh gosh.
All right, we need to figure out where we can get Aberrant some therapy for his pyromania. Is there a spell for that?
There's a cure. There's a cure for that. It's called a ring of fireballs.
We will all die the day you achieve your ultimate life goal.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Abrant's going to die the day he gets a fireball ring. I'm just saying, it's bound to happen. He's going to burn himself up, blow
Yeah, you're not
himself up
supposed
with
to
the
let them all
fireball
off at
ring.
once.
I feel like it is absolutely going to happen, but we'll see.
Destiny.
We'll see.
Well, you know how to end the campaign now, Frank. Just give him the fireball ring and it's all over.
I'll give him a super special, ultra powerful fireball ring.
Shot down in a blaze of glory.
Shot down. Glory.
So my question
I'm
to you
going
all
down.
is, did you want to just like walk right up to to the house, to the people that you were or did you want to like, I don't know, it sounds weird. I assure you I'm not accusing you of automatically doing sketchy stuff, but did you want to like case it out first and look around?
Well, is the
place?
broker there to give us like the update?
Yeah, that's the plan, but you can only see the back of the wagon first. You can see movement, so he's there.
I want to cast Detect Magic just because I'm suspicious in general. I'll kind of stand behind something and look
We should-
inconspicuous.
No problem. You
I'll
cast
walk up.
Detect Magic.
I'll walk. Yeah.
We'll look around as we're walking up.
Kate could go all stealth.
Yeah,
I
and
could, but
sneak
why?
around.
she's got hyper perception too. She
We could-
could just perceive any sort of evil doing that's going on.
True.
Should we have gone to the bell first to sell the stuff, though? Maybe they'll
Yeah.
give us a minute to sell our thing.
Would we have
Yeah.
the time to do that?
Sure, whichever way you'd want. I mean, he's going to meet you here, so you're just going to keep the broker waiting. That's perfectly fine. It's a big sale, so he's willing. You know that he said he could probably get 500 gold from it, which is with his commissions considerable for him. So he's willing to work with you.
Well, I think we should just go to the broker.
Yeah,
Unless you
sell the
guys-
other stuff at our leisure. We may as well
Yeah.
do this now that they're all ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So we'll approach slightly cautiously. I don't know.
Slightly cautiously.
We'll
Got
we'll,
it. No problem.
we'll keep our eyes open. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Fair. It sounds fair and reasonable. All right. So
We won't be all twitchy like,
Look,
Abran won't have his
Spastic elf.
my
arrows
Rutarki out, my
drawn
Rutarki sniper rifle.
yeah.
okay.
No.
Well, then as you approach,
What was that? What was that?
you see the broker. That's your broker, if you recall.
Hopefully he's talking about our
Mr.
perception
Gordon.
check. It's going to be this big.
This-
This big.
That's yeah. It was this big, and for some reason the white of that horse makes it look like he's got a little quest arrow over his head.
It does.
And then coming
what
down
you
from the
need,
house is a quest arrow. I'm sorry, coming out from the
Yeah,
house.
we need
would be
quest
this
arrow
direction.
on our NPCs from now on. I'll make you one.
Oh, she's very fancy.
We can make one. Okay, so since
Nice
you're just
paint jobs.
approaching, I believe Sidwe or Anne painted the Margaret Fairweather and the Fisherman's Fairy Bard, the Gordon's Fisherman.
Trust the Gordons, Fisher.
So when you cast detect magic, a couple of things, Fathom. I still like you to make a perception check as part of that.
Okay.
Do we all need to roll perception checks?
No, this is just Fathom.
Keeping our eyes peeled?
7.
Everybody else is going to get their passives. 7. Did you
Okay.
say 7?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm not too much with the noticing things today.
Well,
My passive is 11, but
you still have to, kind of know the right way to look with such things sometimes. But as you look around, you see magic. Of course, you're familiar with all the magic on you. You're familiar with the back of the wagon's magic enchantment at this time. But
Magic of the fish sticks.
magic of the so the broker has no magic that you can detect.
That's how they come out so golden brown.
Margaret has a 1 earring. There is a matching pair of earrings on her, but only one appears to be magical.
Oh,
interesting. Are the trees normal? Because the kid said that.
Oh,
They
there
didn't know
is.
you
So
around.
that pinkish
Good
one
question.
there is fruit laying around the ground at it. That's a great. So you were looking for the fruit. Roll one more time on that perception check. It's as though you had advantage.
Okay, that's better. 13. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's better.
Okay, there is a very slight. You can almost not pick it up, and you wouldn't expect it normally, but just you happen to notice that the fruit is giving off a really faint magical signature. Magical
So the
signature.
fruit, but not the tree.
The fruit,
Interesting.
but not the tree.
oh,
Interesting.
Magic fruit.
magic fruit. Beans.
Look, the last time we encountered enchanted food items did not go well for a lot of people, so maybe just leave
Did
the
it?
fruit alone.
That's true.
No,
Mm.
because the kid said
Says
you
the
had to
person
run
who
if you
used to
took
be
the
a
fruit.
door.
I'm not fixing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Some of us learn from our experiences.
Just the one person in our party learns from their experience, I think.
Hey, but only one of us in this party has been a door.
That's the one who learned from their experience.
Yeah. Just saying.
That's true. So she comes out, and the broker's there, and he looks at her, and he gives a little bow, and she's just seems to like look over him, not dismissively over him, but look over him, kind of take in who he is and who she's going to be dealing with, and then looks over at the group of you as you come up. And of course the broker turns and goes, it's so wonderful to see you all. I'm glad you got the runner. He was he was who was available at the moment. So I'm glad you got the message.
Good lad. Although he likes to tramp on vegetables a little too much, but
Well, yep. Well, he got you the message.
he did. He did. We're here.
This, if I may, do the introductions, and he kind of comes over and says, "This is Margaret. She's sent a runner, and we've had dealings in the past over a ship, if I recall. Isn't that right?" And she says, "Oh, yes, there was a lovely ship, a galleon. It's sunk. Well, we'll get another. So you have a wagon for me."
A very special way.
Very special.
It's very
See how
nice
pretty it is.
looking, but how special is it?
It's enchanted.
Forgive me if I've not heard that one before.
It's enchanted. Please
Allow
allow me
us to
to
demonstrate.
take some of this. Yes. Take
Don't,
some
don't
mud.
ask permission. Just smear some mud on her and then invite her in.
Yeah.
It's like a vacuum salesman.
On one of us.
Yeah.
Abran throws a dirt clod at her, and so it's harder to get in the first.
Now she's got two
Let's
claws
be-
to deal with.
I think I'm with Fathom. I said, allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to put on my best charming gnome bard face and besmirch the elf with mud.
I was going to roll the gnome in the dirt, but yeah, let's smirch our elf.
Yes, I will besmirch the elf. If you will follow me to the rear of the wagon, I will show you a trick with our elf.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. Let me.
Let's
will.
get the elf good and besmirched.
So your elf is good and besmirched in mud, which I don't know if he's super happy about, but
He'll get his revenge.
We're about to fix it.
We take Mrs. Fairweather back to the rear of the wagon and run the elf through the door.
okay.
There's lots of flourishes. We'll
Oh,
Van
yes.
White them.
Oh,
And harp strumming.
do harp strum at the same. Make a performance check. Why
Oh.
not? This is kind of all performative in a certain way.
Oh yes, very performative. I am definitely sucking up to Miss Fairchild or Fairweather. Performance.
Should I roll for the Van A or it's all on?
26.
Oh.
Hey,
20,
baby.
26. Okay. So she seems to like your adoration or your version of it, and so do you hop up in there? Is that
Yes.
Abran and get clean?
Yeah.
We run in
Abran's
through the
all
door.
muddy. He jumps in.
Okay.
Presto! Simsalabim!
She looks duly impressed. Oh, well, that is enchanted. That could be
And it-
very handy.
And it works on other things besides dirty elves.
So, as such as.
If you'll allow me, since she's impressed, I'll besmirch her, not to the degree that I besmirched Abran, and then hand her up in a gentlemanly fashion into the rear of the wagon.
Okay. She steps in. She doesn't seem offended at all by you're off on a good foot, so she doesn't seem offended at all by the dirtying, soiling of her hand or whatever. And she steps up in and watches it vanish. She's got a bit of a gleam, and she says, "Oh, just bear with me one moment, please." And she steps off, and she just walks right for the house. And she sort of
You didn't even get to store the storage compartment.
she just sort of disappears into it, and you hear a couple of shouts, appropriately voiced and pitched shouts, and out comes this younger boy in an apron with a stack of dirty dishes. And he's kind of walking out there. She goes, be a lad and hop up in that wagon for me. And he looks suspicious at this, but doesn't argue, and he hops up, and the dishes do get clean as he hops through. You notice that.
Yeah, why are we selling this wagon? It's too awesome.
Wow, this is an awesome. This is more awesome than I thought. I
We
didn't
should
realize
just
it
bring
would
this
do the
wagon with
dishes.
us everywhere we go.
I thought it just did the laundry.
Does dishes too.
Does dishes.
Yeah, it does dishes too. Wow, this is amazing.
It does not chop or do julienne fries, though. So she says, oh, well, it is quite
You can
useful.
see it's an extraordinary wagon.
Yeah, it is. I hope the horses aren't included. They're a little subpar.
No,
No.
we
They're
just
not.
They're
we
rentals.
just got him to bring the wagon.
Well, excuse me while I pull out the Pizza Dungeon dice to decide the fate of our
Well, that can't be good for us.
Reaper Pizza Dungeon.
So are the storage compartment, aka coffee place.
Right?
Well-
Did you guys have... Michael's redecorating. Did you guys have the coffin removed? I mean, it was built in, so I don't think you had it removed.
No,
Yeah, we left it.
So,
and I'm
It's
the
a
storage
secret
I'm
compartment.
almost
place.
It's not a
positive that
coffin. It's a storage compartment.
didn't Corncob put the saffron, the chest of saffron in there?
Yes.
I could have
but
sworn he
you
did.
You can pull it out. He did.
Okay,
But you
okay.
can pull it out. No
Let's pull that out.
It's not a coffin. It's just an eccentrically shaped storage compartment, as Fathom said.
Ah, she raises an eyebrow ever so little bit. Make a persuasion check through all this, because we're working on the deal here. Let's see. It doesn't matter who does it, but I will say that Abran and Pugh are the ones that are more engaged with her.
What's your
Ujo, I
persuasion
think you
there,
probably
Elf?
0.
Oh, you're a jerk. I'll roll.
Yeah.
Just keep
Wow.
flexing your abs. That's all she needs to know.
Oil them up.
15.
Well,
Well,
I rolled a 15.
I'll give you. I want to be fair about it. What's your fee, sir? And she's turning over to the broker, and he sort of tips down and says, "Well, ma'am, I was going to take 10%." Says, "I'll make sure that all of you get 600 gold after his 10%."
Each.
Given our understanding of the economy, that seems pretty generous to me. Am I wrong?
No, you're the originally this he said he was going to sell the wagon for something like 15 gold, 10, 12 gold, something like that. You showed that it was magical, just to kind of go back, and he said, "Oh, I could get maybe 500 gold for this." And so
Okay.
it is generous
Now
based
it's-
on what you know.
how is the broker responding to that offer? Does he look
he's-
happy?
he's probably
He's
happy.
very happy, and he's sort of looking at you all expectantly, like, "Ooh, this is good." And he's almost wringing his hands a little bit.
Now you know Corncob would be like, we want a lot more. I'm just saying.
Corncob's not here. But you know
I
what
know.
we should say?
I know.
I'd say
He's
if
gonna
you'll
say we got
pardon us-
took.
Yeah, well, whatever. He can cry
We got
later.
100 more than
Um,
the expected price. How is that getting took?
I say, pardon us a moment. It is group property, so we must reach a consensus. And so we'll go and do a little football huddle to discuss this.
Certainly, please.
I say let's take
As
the
as
deal
we
that
huddle
insists-
up, as we huddle up, Abran reaches around and squashes a dirt clod on top of the gnome's head for his antics earlier.
Yeah, you're funny, Elf. You'll get yours. I'm inclined to take the deal, but I think what we should do is ask for a peck of those delicious-looking apples from that tree, in addition to
Okay.
the cash.
Yeah, you
I'll
go
make
first.
sure Pugh knows those are magical apples, but I'll message him if I have to make sure. It's
Well, the
not.
kid said that they're good apples, right?
He
Yeah,
did.
he.
He can't see
that's what I
vegetables
think we should
anymore,
do.
so that's concerning.
Yeah.
Deal.
I'm good with that.
All
All
right.
in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. She's waiting expectantly.
That's the deal we present. We would
Go
like.
ahead, Pujol.
We would like. We're amenable to the cash, but in addition, if you would be so kind, since you seem to have a plethora of delicious-looking fruit, we would like some of those apples, just as a token of appreciation.
Certainly. Roderick, get a basket, fill it full of apples for them.
Is it seasonable for there to be apples right now?
It's
It was snowing.
It was snowing. It's let up at the moment, but it could snow at any moment. It's a little
spring?
cold. Maybe it seems a little bit late for apples. They are on the ground, so they're no longer really on the tree. So I don't know. Perhaps it was fair weather. Make a nature check.
Okay, that's my. That's
Yeah,
my.
you make a nature check because I'm gonna.
I'll be.
on that.
I'm nature
11.
boy.
11. Okay.
21.
21. So no, it's a little cold. There's something. You would expect them to have dropped a while ago, when the first sort of temperatures hit lower. Not this late in the season.
Her name is Fairweather, right?
Her name is.
Speak
Yeah,
with the tree.
So
She
I'm
does-
going to ask her, what is your secret? How do you have apples this late in the season?
She looks back at the tree and says, "Well, we Fairweathers have always had good luck with our crops."
That is better than good luck. That is
my.
extraordinary luck.
Bit of a green thumb.
There must be a secret. Even the greenest of thumbs can't resist the frost.
Well, we know how to treat our plants. This particular tree needed to be warm. You can see the remainder of some earth on the ground over there where we've lit a fire to make sure its base was warm when the frost first hit. Other things, we keep a close eye on them and close attention. Some of them, I dare say, are family secrets, not sharing, but let's say we just pay attention to our plants.
I have a question for Lady Fairweather.
Okay.
She mentioned something about losing a galleon.
Yes.
We also happen to have a ship that we are trying to get rid of. Is that something she would be interested in?
Ah, yes, the ship. Your broker mentioned something about it. To my knowledge, it was salvaged. There was creatures on it. I'm not sure that interests me too much. Can you tell me more about it? As soon as I found there were questionable circumstances from its arrival in town, it put me off, I have to admit.
The creatures were only on it briefly. Before that, it was crewed by ordinary people.
Yes, it served its masters well for many years until this unfortunate intervention, and it fortunately has fallen into our hands. And it may serve your
killed those
interests
harpies
as well.
Maybe
they
maybe
were just
the
harpies.
maybe the
Cleaned
broker
up the poop
can
and everything.
not helping Abran.
Not selling.
Maybe
they were flying in a good portion of the time, so they weren't actually technically on the ship. But when we killed them, they did fall onto the ship. So yeah,
they were there
true.
only briefly.
But they're not there anymore.
Maybe we can have the broker detail the ship, or have some of his workers detail it before you inspect it and decide if it's something you might want.
Well, I've sent someone to inspect it, of course. Regardless, because it was a very good price it was asking. In fact, if you don't mind me saying, you might need a different broker. I think he was underselling you. But I'm not necessarily in need of well, I don't know if it holds everything I was looking for. So you were on it yourself. You took care of the creatures that were on it.
The harpies.
Harpies.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So
There was a giant. There was a crab thing too, but they didn't get on the boat. It was on the outside.
Abran, make a persuasion check.
Unnecessary details.
I love his details, though.
Overshare.
Can
19.
I message Pugh and remind him that he can talk with plants?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
And you
Can
said
I?
that persuasion was a 19?
Yes, sir.
Wow. She says, really? So you've taken care of the creatures? Well, perhaps that would be okay. And you'd be willing to sell it to me today, possibly. I have gotten my lockbox out. It's a terrible thing to bring it up sometimes. It's so heavy.
Make us an offer.
We can also,
problems, I guess.
if it's a spiritual cleansing she's interested in, we are on good terms with Pat and Tim down there at the temple. We could have them, shake a chicken's foot at it and dispel the wicked juju. If that's what she desires. Yes.
I'll give you an extra 1,000 gold if that's the case.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
Deal.
We're on very good terms with them.
What were we bargaining for with the ship? I don't even.
No one told
remember.
you, but she's about to make an offer you since. She says, absolutely. With that added amount, I'll give you 26,000 gold.
Aye. I'm going to look sideways at the broker.
Puka.
I want to look sideways at the broker as she says this. Does he seem surprised? Or what's his reaction to this?
Seems a little surprised. He kind of goes over. Fathom, you're closest to the broker, and he goes, that would be a brand new ship, ma'am. I wasn't asking that much because it's not new.
He says that to her?
He says that to Fathom quietly.
Oh.
Yeah, something's hinky here.
Yeah. I see story plot twist coming.
I wonder if this is like illusionary money or something.
It grows on trees.
Yeah. I think you need to start talking to some trees, Pugh.
Okay.
These people are.
I will wander over to the apple tree while is the boy still picking? I mean, he's gone to get a basket. Is he picking the apples up now?
Yeah, Roderick has come back. He's filling up this basket with apples. Let me even look. You didn't think I could do it, but I'm gonna put a basket of apples down there that he's filling up for you.
Wow.
Wow.
You are low.
Those
You
are
are
great
really like the
looking
Boy
apples.
Scouts of miniature D&D. No stumping Frank.
So you go over to the tree specifically and kind of look at it. I'm gonna tuck
Yes,
you back there.
Okay. And I'm going to, behave as if I'm supervising the collection of apples.
Sure.
But I'm going to cast Speak with Plants and have a conversation with the tree.
Okay, you make that's going to be a little bit tricky, but make a first of all, I guess, stealth check.
Could I disguise my casting as performance? Play my harp and sing about Roderick collecting apples, and as I'm doing so, surreptitiously cast the spell.
Couldn't you just
Only
tell
if
Roderick
you-
to go get another basket?
Yeah, you
Roderick,
could
go get
absolutely
another basket.
make a stealth check.
Okay, I'm not very stealthy. Oh,
As you're
16.
chatting it up with this
Good
tree.
job.
Okay, 16. Yeah, no one seemed to notice. Roderick's going back and forth. He's got apples. He's not very efficient about it. He's like walking over to the tree and getting some apples and then walking over to the basket and putting the apples in and back and forth. So it's giving you a lot of
Apples.
opportunity.
Okay. Well, I'll greet the tree and inquire as to why in the world it's fruiting so late in the season when all its brothers' branches are bare.
So speak with plants. I just need to give it a quick look up.
It lets me. It can give me information on things that has happened in the past day. I imbued plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow simple commands. You can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day, gaining information about creatures that have passed, weather, and other circumstances.
Okay.
And then the rest is like difficult terrain and that sort of stuff.
Right. So it kind of shakes a little bit more than it would be usually, sways back and forth. Branch sort of leans down to you and hangs low. It's got a big apple on it, and you hear it in some sort of magical language that the rest of you wouldn't be able to understand. Here, I always feel good this time of year.
Ah. What's the source of your good feeling?
Don't know. The soil, the sun, the wonderful weather. It's always fair.
Even this time of year. The wonderful weather is fair weather.
Yes, it is. It is this time
It
of year.
didn't snow? Doesn't snow here?
Oh, snow can be cold. Well, wait, you're not. I can't respond to you.
So even when there's bad weather, you experience good weather?
Oh, I've seen bad weather, but it's good now.
Yes, but it's been bad, and yet your fruit is ripe.
Yes.
To what do you attribute the good weather? No other trees like you are experiencing this weather. Only you.
Don't know. It's just good weather.
Hmm. Are you well treated by your mistress?
Yes. Yes. She sang to me just this morning.
Ah. Can you sing the song she sang? I'm quite a musician myself and might appreciate a lesson.
I have no good singing voice. No. But and it sort of sways rhythmically, and you can see it. The plant is like it goes like this, and it's got a rhythm to it that is a little counter to the wind. So if you were looking at it from a distance, you'd see the tree moving. And even though there's a breeze, if you were paying close attention, you would see that it's moving counter to the wind right now as you're talking to it.
Hmm. And what is the song about? Is there a story?
Is there a story? Well, actually, no, you don't have to. Yes, there is. There is. It's a story.
Who's in the story?
A young boy. Yes, you would call them a boy. Yes.
Oh,
And
tell me about the boy. Have you met this boy? Or is he just in the song?
just in the song.
And what's the...
They grow. They grow together. No. Yeah. Yes. The boy helps the tree grow.
Sacrifice.
Ah. Hmm. And where is the boy now?
Dead.
Oh.
Buried in the roots.
It's a song, perhaps an elder tree of her that sings it.
That's very unusual. What an interesting story, because I am a nature boy myself, and the trees that I've had relationships with, although they've never fruited as...
Wow, too much information. Those and the goats. I mean, it's goats, now it's trees.
You are the judgiest half demon I've ever run across. For the love of Pete, lighten up. So judgy.
You're talking about fruiting. You're talking about spreading your seed to the trees and fruiting them out.
And what business is it of yours? You weird elf.
Oh, but
Gosh,
but
who are you to question my love? Butt out. Okay. Now,
Bud
allow
out.
me to... Yeah, bud out. Allow me to continue my queries uninterrupted by the judgmental peanut gallery. Okay.
Judgmental peanut gallery.
Keeping my potted plant away from Pugh.
I know, right?
Know some judgmental peanut plants.
I know.
Oh crud! Now I've lost my train of thought. The boy.
Yes. In the story that she sings.
Yes, the boy.
In the song.
The boy in the story. I have the trees that I've had relationships with all grow because of the sun and the rain and the soil and the strength of their roots and the greenness of their leaves. Boys never figure into the growth of the trees that I have had relationships with. What does this boy do specifically to empower the growth of you and the trees in the song? He's not the sun. He's not the rain. He's not the soil. What does he do?
When a meal is set before you, do you question its origin so harshly?
Ooh. I was right.
Eat the boy?
Sacrifice the boy.
Mm.
Is the boy the meal
Oh, it gives
in the song?
his song is life.
And where does his song come from?
I don't know where song comes from.
Can you teach me this song?
Cannot sing.
Okay. Then if I wanted to learn it, to whom would I speak?
Oh, she sings every morning to us.
Okay. And in what language does she sing to you? In the language that I'm speaking to you now, or another one?
Oh, yes, like how you speak to me now.
Okay.
Ask her
I
ask him
will.
about the fruit.
I'm going to send a message to Fathom that says the kind of outlines the conversation in shorthand that I've just had with this tree. And is there any other information she would like me to gather from the tree? Miss Fairweather sings to the tree each morning. The tree attributes its unusual growth to the song. Is there anything else we need to know? The
Why
song
just
is
that tree?
about a boy.
Why is that tree getting special treatment?
Yeah.
Is Fathom sharing this information with us?
Yes, I will. I'll have to message you all individually, so it'll take a minute.
Ask about the apples
but
too.
That's.
Oh.
What about the
What
apple?
time of the
ask about the apple?
What
What
time
are
does
the
she
apples?
sing?
Is there
Maybe we
something
should.
magical about the apples? Because that's what magic was being detected on, was the apples.
What time does she sing? Because maybe we can spy on her and see what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then kill her.
What was your question again, Fathom? I can only hold one thing in my head at a time.
Why that tree is getting special treatment?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to ask why
And
does she sing to you and not to the other trees?
Oh, she sings to the others.
Which trees does she not sing to?
She sings to all of her trees. Look around. Look at our wonderful home.
Ah, yes. Now, does she when she sings to you, does she sing before the sun rises or after?
Oh, just before.
Just before the sun rises.
We're the greenest.
And she sings.
We're the most trees. Look at us all.
And
We
she's
thrive.
and she sings every day.
Yes.
Does she sing to anything else or just the trees?
Well, to all of us, I think.
And
so my communication with you is probably a little fuller and richer than the tree is actually communicating with you. But
and does this song how does this song affect your fruit? It is so unusual to have fruit this late in the year, and your fruit appears to be quite special. Why would this be?
It helps them grow.
Does she sing to the fruit, or is it just a byproduct of her singing to you?
No, it helps me, and I make the fruit.
Okay. Well, you must be quite proud. It's delightful fruit that is very unusual to have this late in the year.
I am. I hope that They grow far and wide.
Well, I'll be sure to plant a few. The ones that don't go into the stupid elf's pie.
Oh,
Well, that's okay if they go into pie.
Well, it's wonderful for gnomes to eat the pie, but others not so much. But some I'll make sure that the seeds go into the ground just to honor our conversation.
Thank you, gnome. And it leans down over you. Again, the fruit, and it just sort of plops off, bloop, right into your hand.
All right. And I will do whatever, the equivalent of scratching it under a chin if it were a cat. I don't know how you do that with a tree. Pat it on its
Well,
Probably
up its bark.
Exactly. Pat the bark.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should know. You've been intimate with trees.
That's what I'm saying. I would know. I mean, Pugh would know, but Bobby Jackson doesn't know. He's never been intimate with a tree.
Pugh knows. So
Pugh knows.
the tree is happy with your conversation and the pats of affection that it received.
Okay.
Very nice.
And is there anything else, as I look around, since I've walked away from the group, is there anything else I notice about the little grove or the anything else unusual about these trees that might be attributed to the song that they get sung?
Most of these trees would have already fruited very early, like spring, not fall. So you don't see any fruit from them in particular. They just look like very healthy, hardy trees.
Oh, before I go, how many summers have you seen? How old are you? How many summers have you seen? Do you have? Can a tree remember that? I mean, can it count its own rings?
You're asking for a lot from a tree. The tree says many.
Okay.
That building was not there, and kind of nudges across the way where you see a building that looks like it's probably, I don't know, 50 or 60 years old.
Okay. So it's not like she's causing trees to magically sprout. She's just doing something magical to the fruiting.
Suspicious magic.
Yeah.
I kind of like this magic. This is my kind of magic. I'm a nature boy. I might want to learn this song.
We don't know what these apples are meant to do, though.
No, that's true.
I don't know how you figure that out either.
You have a bushel of them now, because during this time, the Roderick has filled them up and has kind of carried them over to you, and this whole bushel of apples is plopped down in front of all of you.
Very good. So I assume
we just ate one. We're about to find out what they do. Our hungry lizard man just ate one. Also, I'm hoping you can put them in your Peugeot carrier, because that looks too heavy for the rest of us to carry.
I assume that the wagon deal is done.
Yeah, the wagon deal
Well,
is
I'm
done.
concerned we're not actually going to get this money.
She's waiting on the boat deal to be approved.
Well, this is what
I approve
think.
the boat deal.
I'm
for
for the boat deal, but
I'm for the boat deal too. But do we need to do it? Perhaps we should, in order to prolong our the legitimacy of our hanging around her property, we could say that's an enormous sum of money, and we need to go talk to our buddy Corncob, who's laid up with, whatever he's laid up with this afternoon, and to get a quorum, and can we get back with you tomorrow on the deal? We're very inclined. That's a very attractive offer, and we're very inclined to take it, but we don't want to insult our friend. What do you guys think about that idea?
Sounds good to me.
I'm for that.
She did say
that
that
will
she
give us
had
an
the
opportunity
chest
to come
already
back.
out.
You could if you wish. The lockbox is very heavy.
Yeah.
No more than a day, if you don't mind. It's such a nuisance to bring up. So it's in gold coin. I'd be paying you. It's not gems, I'm
Take
afraid.
it.
So you're of this time and age. You realize that about 26,600 gold coins is like 500 and close to 550 pounds of weight. So it really is a lot of weight.
We'll have to borrow the wagon.
Wow.
So she's not exaggerating when she says that particular thing, but not that should play into anything, but you should have that knowledge probably.
Where in the world are we going to store 500 pounds of gold?
We're going
Oh,
to
a city like this, I'm sure they've got banks.
And
Yeah.
gems.
Yeah,
And a
we
bag
can
of
turn
holding.
it. Yeah.
oh, yeah. We get a bag of
I'd like
holding.
to talk to Kay aside for a minute about whether we have any legal protection if the money just vanishes or something.
I was just
We'll
going
stick
to ask the
Abran on
broker
her.
if they have any standard contracts for transactions of this size.
Yes, of course, of course. We do sell ships. Usually used prices, so this is a little high, but it's well within our range. A true galleon might sell for this price. Of course, you don't actually have a galleon, but if she wants to pay that, that's fine. And we have a contract that would cover it, authorized, of course, and depending on what you wanted, if you were to approve it now, she could sign it, and it would be guaranteed that she would have to pay it. But if you are to wait now, as you are discussing, then theoretically, without some sort of down payment, perhaps deal, that she could sell it before tomorrow, I guess. But she seems to be on the level.
So
Well,
what provisions does the standard contract have for terms of non-payment or illusory payment? Is there anything like that written into it?
Well, for ours, yes, the church is involved. We worked very closely with them, so those who aren't paying would have to seek a trial, and it's not an incredibly enjoyable process. The church here is capable of, well, taking everything you own if they wish
I see.
to cover the
So
expenses.
yeah, it sounds like if we go with the standard contract, we will be protected from that sort of thing.
well, maybe we should just do it.
Do it.
And I think Corncob would be happy with, because
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, you guys don't feel like we need to take a couple hours and just ask around town about this family or something?
Nah, we can come back and kill him if it doesn't work.
I mean, I think if they were
Murder
shady,
hobos.
the broker would not necessarily be doing business with them because he's got a stake in this too.
They're a reputable,
Yeah.
they're a reputable family
Yeah.
around town. I don't.
We got
I
a
don't think we
basket
should
of
be too
apples.
worried.
Come on.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
About them
They
apples.
talk to trees.
to be really transparent, at least for the vibe you get. Now there could be, I understand that people in a town might let things go under their nose without realizing it, but you feel like this is an upstanding family, and whatever is happening with their wealth of their crops and goods is not looked at poorly, nor does it seem as though anybody gives it any real note of like, oh well, them fair weathers. Like everybody feels, you get a good vibe, though. You do get the vibe that the broker kind of did give the impression that, oh, this person's very well off, and so it's all money. It's not church related. So in this case, it's about the amount of wealth they hold and not their standing in the town. That's the only unusual thing, perhaps.
And they got their wealth from commerce.
Yes.
From singing to trees, apparently.
From plants,
Is anything
according to the
happening to
little
our
boy.
lizard man who ate an
What?
apple?
Oh,
Is anything happening to our lizard man
Yeah,
who
I
ate
ate
an
an
apple?
apple.
Roll for
Initiative.
Constitution save. No, it's hard to feel upset or down. I mean, you it kind of, it's juicy, it's sweet, it's
a really good apple.
Yeah,
Kid wasn't lying.
Honey crisp.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the best apple. Well, maybe not the best, but certainly a perfect apple specimen. And I don't know, it makes you feel good. And the fact that it was on the ground and then you picked it up, wow, what would it have been if it was that one that just plopped off in Pugil's hands? That one's probably even better, but this is an amazing apple.
Yeah, he'll never know.
Well, he didn't have to have any relationships with trees, though, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, naughty
You
pine.
You didn't get to, hater.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I'm inclined to just say, let's do this deal now. I don't personally want to lose the 26,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah. I think you're right.
That's a
I
lot
think
that's a lot of gold.
That's probably too much money for hang a pretense on it.
Yeah. It seems like a interesting.
I mean, we can
plot
always come
twist.
back and spy on her.
Yeah.
Later in the morning,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just happen to be around. She's singing to her trees.
She's singing to her trees. All right, so if you take the money, then, which is fine. I'm saying that like it's suddenly something bad's gonna happen. But if you take the money, she has Roderick go and get somebody else as well, and they, like, 3 people come up dragging this lockbox, and this box is about, I don't know, you'd guess it's like 2.5 or 3 feet by a good 18 inches, and probably 18 inches high as well. It's it in and of itself. She just hands you and says, "Please take the whole box. Here's the key," and she opens it up, and she says, "We could scale it out if you want. I assure you that it's all there. 26,000, and well, that's what there was 25 in here originally. Yes, and you added the 1,600. Yes, okay. So 26,600 gold, and that is if you do your deal and have it blessed by the church."
Yes.
Maybe we should find out how much it's going to cost us to bless.
But you don't feel it's the 1,000 gold that she offered for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gee, it'll only cost you 30,000.
No.
I think
Everything
they
we've done
owe
for
us.
Tim and Pat owe us big time.
Oh.
The church
Yeah.
is likely
We're
to
not
do
paying
it
a
to you
penny
for
for that.
nothing, but at most they'll probably take a hefty donation of 50 gold or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is likely to
So-
be the case.
So, do we need to sign any special contracts like Kay was talking
The
about?
broker does bring you a contract over to sign, and you all seem to point to Kay, so he moves it over Kay's direction.
That's our fine print reader right there.
Okay.
Is there anything magical about the box?
Oh, the box is not magical at all. No. And there's what she. Oh, if you're asking,
No,
she says that.
I'm looking.
But if you're looking, there's nothing magical about it. It's bound in it's iron. The wood, it's pretty sturdy. It's made so that it will hold that much weight, but other than that, and when I say bound, I really mean a couple of straps and the corner, so it won't dent as people put it down. And the
We
lock
need to
is
hire
on.
we need to hire a wagon.
I mean, you could split it up amongst you all, but
We've
yeah.
also got those horses.
You do have the horses.
Yeah.
Yep. And they've got packs on them, so you could fill up their packs.
That's probably what we should do: is divvy the gold up between the two horses and get it down to some place where we can exchange it for jewels or.
I'd like
something.
Kay to look around and make sure someone isn't watching this right now, waiting to
Well, and my
gank us on our way out.
understanding,
Hey, and
if John will take one, I will My understanding is that you're heading to the Broken Bell after this, where you imagine you will be able to get some special, I don't know.
I don't think we want to go to the Broken Bell Thieves Guild fence with 26,000 gold.
Well, it's a
our
fence, but it's not. So I want to be clear because this is important, and Kay knows this. It's a fence, but it was pretty clear that this person didn't like the Thieves Guild, and that this fence would be quite likely unassociated with the Thieves Guild, or wouldn't be recommended.
You know what else they might have there, though? Is magic items.
Ooh.
We might wish to buy with our
Sure.
giant pile of gold.
A
Now,
magic
and
ring.
also, now that we have a giant pile of gold, we might want to rethink that $1,000 looking glass that we're supposed to return.
It's true. That would be handy on when our ship comes in.
That's true.
So
buy that.
they do the deal. You sign the contract. There's nothing nefarious in the contract. It looks pretty straightforward. She doesn't even have a. Hate to put it in modern terms, but she can't return it after this. It's a done deal. You've got the money. She's got the wagon. It's done.
I'm gonna miss that wagon.
And a boat.
And a
Wagon
boat.
and a boat.
And a
I'm
boat.
not gonna
Yeah,
miss
you don't
the
have the
boat.
boat either. You have,
And
so
the boat.
there is a small write-in at the bottom that the broker was careful to put that you have a responsibility to get it blessed.
We'll get it. We'll go get it. We need to.
But it does
Get
say
Tim and Pat.
within a reasonable time frame. It doesn't say you have to do it now, or it doesn't give you an exact window. It just whatever
Okay.
is
Well,
reasonable.
we'll put that on the to-do list for when we get back to Tim and Pat, and we'll get somebody to help us out with that. So, do we need to go to a bank, go to a money lender, go to somebody to figure out what to do with this large sum of gold?
You are on the rich side of town, so you can go to a moneylender over here, and you don't feel like you would have a problem exchanging that into jewelry.
Which would be much easier to carry,
Yeah,
but that's still going to be a lot of jewels, won't it?
it could be.
I guess it depends.
Depends on your comfort level with items. Do you want to put it all in one?
Yeah, no.
We need to
No.
be able to take bits of it and use it for stuff. don't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I will say this: we are exactly halfway through this game. So you've made the boat purchase. When you get back from here, you'll either be going to the lender or you'll be going to go to the Broken Bell, or probably both. They're very close to each other. Both
do
the
one,
places
yeah.
you want to go are close to each other. So, but we need to take a break. We need to get up and stretch, and we need to do legs. I know we had a raid come in. Thank you everyone for raiding, but we're about to take 15 minutes. Stick around for some more D&D and maybe some initiative rolling. We don't know. It's okay.
Please.
Those dang money lenders.
Yes.
You never know. All right, everyone. See you back in about 10 or 15 minutes.
All right.
welcome back to Reaper Errant. We had a little break, got a stretch, got some snacks for some of us, got some drinks for others of us. This is our snack. I cannot believe I'm going for this lowbrow rum and coke. It's my mood.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is, I guess. I guess it is, but it's a dark rum. I don't know if that makes any difference. It's my favorite rum and coke. Sorry, I'm sure John's like, get back on task. Come on, this is Reaper. But
So you're very thematic to the season,
it's
Michael?
Yes, Oktoberfest.
ooh, Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Okay.
It's very
Alright.
tasty. Very
Now,
tasty.
if you
I recommend
if
it.
you bring beer my way, I love pickle. I'm gonna disgust half you in the audience. Don't worry about it. I have a show, a different show on Night Heart Gaming where I make a drink for everybody.
Fantastic.
Well, for me, and we came up with a drink called a Salty Goblin. It is basically a pickle beer michelada, and if you like spicy pickles, like just the spicy pickle you can get, you will love a pickle beer michelada. Go find some. And if you're getting Texas beer, I see Reaper John says he loves pickle beer. There's a company that makes best made sour pickle beer. That is Martin House. That's it. That is the best pickle beer, and that makes the best pickle beer michelada.
Look,
Sorry, I went on a tangent.
I've heard of Salty Goblin before, but not in reference to that.
Well, you never know. You never know what you're gonna find, Michael. So,
I mean, Bobby told me about it, but you never know.
It can't be any worse than a clamato beer.
No.
no, you probably can't.
Ask Trey.
I like clam and tomato in my barley and hops.
Yeah, one time, one Reaper event, Trey Maynor bought a clam and tomato Budweiser or something like that. He took one sip and he turned 3 shades of green. It was pretty funny.
Some people don't like
That was funny.
Yeah, to each his own. Somebody out there likes it.
the best. That's right. So we're coming up from break so we can talk about beer, and I see some of you enjoy the Breakfast of Champions Clamato beer. It's a great hangover cure.
Yeah.
Might be a good drinking cure, actually, even. You got a lockbox. You have horses that you've loaded up this gold coin with. And there are banks near enough by. This is what they'll exchange it for. Paper note, basically, that says you're worth for that in the bank. However, in this realm, that note is only going to be good in the town of Venn. So people aren't going to recognize it outside of that. Important to note, but you will have that if you want it. Or you can get gems. They'll break it down almost any way you want. Any way you want, actually. Not almost. No, almost. So you could
What is our?
you could have a bunch of 100 GP value gems all the way up to one single gem worth 25,000 gold, which I doubt you want, but I don't know, maybe. It's not spendable.
What does our contract person say?
So he's gotten his off the top. She handed it to him separately outside of your lockbox, his 10%.
Woo!
Very happy. He's super pleased, and he's like, hey, if you find anything else, I'm happy to do business with you all.
I'm sure he is.
You never know what we're gonna find.
He just walked away with enough to either quit doing this, but you can tell he loves his job. So it's more likely just, upgrade his entire life.
Wow, he's gonna have
Well, if
a
he quit, he'd have to
good
get a new wardrobe.
Yeah.
night at the bar.
Killing stuff.
He's not getting rid of the yellow slicker. That's
He's
gonna
moving
get
into
the
fish
fanciest
sticks.
yellow sticker possible.
I've always had this strange desire to get into fried fish.
So
Now I
here's
have the
my
funds.
thought. We are and will be in a pretty sizable town for at least a few more days. We may as well take the banknote and use that to do any purchasing we want to do before we leave, and then maybe before we leave town, we can come back to the bank and have them exchange whatever is left for gems and whatnot that will be easier for us to carry.
I'm good with that.
Yep.
Okay.
Smart idea.
The bank is good with that. They make note that anybody, well, almost anybody you work with in this town will be fine with that. They give you a very, what may be considered a large ledger, and they say they base it on the size of the amount of gold in question. And it's got some little lines on it and some space in between. And the expectation is if you go somewhere, they will actually just, it's like a bank register. They will subtract and put their seal on it and say they've taken this much of it, and they've taken this much on it, and they'll sign that, you'll sign theirs, and you'll handle it. They'll go to the bank and handle it. But that sort of traceability of seal on that document will be your running balance total.
Okay.
Sounds handy.
Yeah. This is not a town where you want to go against, like cheat that system. It would be bad if you were caught. Mm-hmm. So most people will fall right in line. No problems. Okay.
All
So
right.
you were
So now
able-
we're. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry. So yeah, now that you're done with the bank, are you heading over to the Broken Bell, or do you have other plans? Yes, for the
I
Broken
say
Bell.
we go to the Broken Bell.
Broken bell. Broken bell.
Do we have like a description of our objet d'art, or like we'll have someone come look at them or something? I guess we don't have them with us. I'm guessing. Not that
Uh-oh,
portable.
Pujo got left alone in the trees.
He's making eyes to that.
It's Pugil. It's Pugil that speaks with trees.
Who knows what's been going on while we've been busy?
Well, okay. It's excuse me as I move the cameras around just a little bit. So you all make it. So when you say I just want to clarify a couple things. The Broken Bell is like Kit said. It is on the outside. It's a wealthy pawn shop. Is sort of what it's set to be. She said, though, they would fence things.
So we have what, some bolts of silk and the objet d'art or whatever, sculptures and paintings and
You could probably ask them
saffron.
to send somebody down to the warehouse to appraise our stash.
Yeah, they'd be happy to do that.
Can you kind of feel around for some rumors about the Fairweather people in their house? The bank didn't seem like a great place to ask.
you really don't trust them, do you?
I really don't. Something's hinky there. Something's hinky.
That money's just gonna disappear.
Yeah,
The ledger's gonna poof vanish.
Yeah, I don't think so because now if that happens, they're going to have to take it up with the bank, and nobody ever wants to take that up with the bank.
All right.
It's true. They are not the
I'm
bank.
with you.
What about the boy in the tree, though? Something's hinky there.
Yeah.
That
not
might
our
be,
point.
but we've gotten
We already
paid,
do.
so
Well,
that's the
we're
tree's
gonna go
problem.
spy on them in the morning, aren't we? We're gonna go,
Well,
or maybe
All right.
Pugel's gonna go spy on her.
I want to go spy.
So do you want to send? I just want to clarify. You want to send somebody down to assess the value of the items you have in the warehouse? Is that right?
Please.
Yes,
The
we have
broker is
the-
happy to do that for you.
we have the
Okay.
saffron, right?
Yes, you have the saffron and the silk.
It was in the storage compartment, so I think we're actually carrying the saffron with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter than the coins. Well, it's not coins anymore, but it was just getting it to the bank. Which was a nice
I don't know
load.
if it's tasty. Maybe we should keep it and put it in all our meals.
Did you? I don't. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Talk about living the rich life. Did you? I assume you just handed over the chest and everything, and you're not carrying a big iron-bound heavy wood chest. But maybe you really love that chest. I don't know.
No.
Oh, nah.
Would that be handy to have on the boat?
It's on the boat maybe, but it's not handy to carry.
No, we need
No.
to
We
connect.
will
Just pay them
we'll
a
kill
couple
somebody
of
else and take
gold
their
to
chest.
put that to the mud crab.
Maybe we could send it back with the broker.
You could if you
know,
want
and
it. I
have
mean, if
him
you feel.
stash it.
Yeah, he'll take it back if you feel partial to it. It's a nice done chest, but it's not magical as you've already established, and there's nothing special.
But we're going to need a place to keep our stuff on the Swan.
You have a key.
All right. Well,
and
let's
All
keep
right.
it. Yeah.
There you go. So as you approach the broken bell, then someone just sort of pops out, and wearing this lovely bright purple almost,
Ooh.
looks at you. and
That's
you're-
really a fancy part of town.
Oh yeah. When this is the pawn shop owner, yeah. Says, customers, you have things to pawn. Please come in. And he sort of welcomes you in, waves you in. I don't know if that's a welcome, but waves you into his shop. I'll just leave everybody here though instead of move people around. But he waves you in and says, I can always tell when someone's looking for business. Please.
Let's go in.
Oh, let's go on in.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Go ahead, Abran. Ask away.
I'll go in.
No,
What am I
ask away. What do you always ask?
Oh, I'm looking for a magic ring of fireballs. Would you happen to have anything like
And we're
that?
like behind him going, no.
Oh, well, it doesn't surprise me. I might have one in storage somewhere. We could go and check. If you don't mind waiting in the tea room for a little bit, come in.
Okay.
But, you can have a look at the walls and browse around while I go check in the back. And he kind of goes in. You come in. So inside, it is... it's not like a... So when they said there was a pawn shop, it's not what you expected at all. It is... there are rich carpets. There are lots of very sort of like... lots of art on the wall. Some of it looks like it's very expensive but not very good, and some of it looks like it's very good but not very expensive. And then there are lots of little trinkets. You don't see a lot of weapons or things like that. However, even the carpet on the town, all of those things, you see a little tag on every single thing in here. Even the richly appointed carpets, the chairs, the sitting couch, everything in here looks like it has some sort of tag on it, as though it's an item
Everything's
that's being
for sale.
cataloged. Everything's for sale. Exactly. He's gotten everything from somewhere. And it's very sort of pleasant looking as you go around. And he comes out with this tea tray. It's got this wonderful silver tea set on it. And it's got a little tag hanging off of it, even. And he sets it down on a little table in front of you and says, please enjoy a cup of tea.
Well, thank you. We've had a day. We're rather parched.
Well, this should be refreshing and reinvigorating, energizing. It's some of our best teas. The tea is not for sale. So what can I help you with? Are you looking for items that poor unfortunate people just haven't come back or forgotten about, to be honest. Sometimes I get things from young whelps and then they forget that they ever sold them to me. How can I help
They
you?
forget they sold them to you.
Well, some of these children have a lot of money, my friend.
We are looking to part with some items that we recently procured.
Really?
Would you be interested in a bit of saffron?
Saffron? Hard to come by. I would be interested in saffron. It's rather popular. It makes a lovely dye. Are you aware of that? Also, great for cooking.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've heard. We are just travelers and can't carry this much around with us.
You can't carry this much. You must be jesting. How much? A pound is a significant amount of saffron. How much do you have?
How much do we have?
Just open the chest. This much.
Yeah. I open the chest and show him.
Oh, wow.
This seems more like a pound to me as I've been carrying it.
That's
smile on my face.
Far greater than a pound. Yes, I would be interested.
It wasn't like 10 pounds or something?
It was 10 pounds.
And speaking of dye, we have cloth to go with it.
Ooh.
Really?
Fine silk.
That's nice fabric. I think this might be a fair trade for a ring of fireballs.
You can't have one, you'll kill us all. What was the one thing Jason said? He said, don't TPK.
No TPK.
There are rules to the game this evening. No TPK. No, so it says saffron. Oh my goodness. 10 pounds. I can. This is it's a tremendous amount. Many of the things that I. So make a persuasion. Well. So on the exterior, this is supposed to be like a pawn shop. You've been told you could. The thing that Kay mentioned after talking with Kit was that you could probably fence things here. Fencing often works differently than pawning. So he's still kind of approaching this as though you're pawning things. And he says, it's certainly interesting. I could hold on to this for a while. How much are you looking to get for it? On the open market, you might be able to get 150 gold. Of course, I would give you 75 gold at the most. But what are you searching for? Especially if you have more items. It's very curious.
Well, we have some art objects and the silk. I'm not so sure we want to part with the saffron just yet.
You led with the saffron and don't wish to part with it. Oh.
Well, it's the one item we happen to have on our person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfectly understandable. Yes. So
I'm going to message Kay and ask if she thinks she should drop Kit's name in this conversation.
Could. I don't know.
So we sent somebody to take an inventory of the items that we'd like to sell on. And they should be here momentarily. Or
would you like to browse around while they dilly-dally?
Yes.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Let's see what you have. Maybe we can work out some trades or some.
Yes.
Who knows?
By all means. No one's coming back for this old stuff.
We would be most interested in magical and portable items since we're not setting up a home to furnish with this fine decor.
Oh, I see.
Except for rings of fireball. We are not interested.
Things that can Portable things that can either protect or kill, preferably.
That's vicious sounding.
I don't think we need to be that specific. We're creative people. We can find uses.
I already mentioned I wanted a ring of fireballs, and he'll shut me down on that.
I think
so.
he's grasped that ring of fireball is on the table. Let's see if he's got anything else.
I don't know if he knows it's on the table or not yet. One of you wants it bad, and the other ones are trying to prevent it from happening. He says, I do
Not
have
a good
some
idea.
items of magic.
Okay.
I must be honest, I rarely get them in. People around these parts of town, they need a quick buck for very expensive tea sets, like this lovely silver one, which I would be happy to part with for 10 or 15 gold. Who am I kidding? 11 gold is what I'd sell it for. It's a wonderful set. But magic, you're interested in magic. I understand.
And portable.
And also, yes, we're itinerant adventurers. We're going to want something that we can put in our pocket.
Magic that fits in the pocket, yes. Understand.
Or pack.
Or pack. Nope.
Or
Nope.
can be carried by our elf.
Well, elves can carry a lot of burden, I understand.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
true. They're useful for little else.
Except for shooting an arrow in your butt.
Arrows. We did have
Arrows.
one item come in not too long ago. I think it's just past its date. Let me check. But it holds arrows. Unlimited numbers of arrows.
Ooh.
Would you like such a quiver?
I would like to examine that, please.
Is the elf all a quiver for the quiver?
I am all a quiver. I'm quivering for that quiver.
So he comes back out, and he's got a quiver. It's empty, and he hands it to you. He says, now this is a special item. Of course, the young lad who turned it in, this was his father's. Granted, passed down to him. He was supposed to be some sort of hunter ranging the fields. He was much more into playing lute for the girls, so didn't want anything to do with this and wanted to trade this in for his lute. It's very
Yeah,
expensive.
those bards are a disappointment, aren't they?
Well, certainly to his father he was, but perhaps to
yeah,
you,
I
you
could see
found
that.
a boon.
A
with
boon,
this.
yes. What is the magical properties of this quiver?
That's a wonderful question. He pulls up the
Thank
quiver and he reaches into the top of it, and the quiver is like, I don't know, this deep, right? And he buries his arm all the way up to the shoulder, way more, and then like leans down in even more, where his head almost kind of pushes against the side, and he goes, more space than you expect in such an item. And if you look closely, there's a pocket here on the outside as well. I hear tell that you might put a javelin in here, or 2 or 3. Anyways,
Or a Rutarki sniper rifle.
I can't imagine what such a thing is, but yes, of course.
It's like a long
Yeah.
stick.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would hold a staff. It would definitely hold a staff.
That seems handy.
And what does the little price tag hanging off of it say?
Excellent
yeah,
question.
Yeah, the price tag that's dangling off of it says 800 gold.
Ooh. Softly pricey.
Well, what are you going to do, Abran? You going to get it?
Here,
Well,
and he puts
there's
it. He
still
puts
some
it in
more
your hands.
negotiation to have. Yeah.
He puts it in your hands, right? It weighs.
Mhm.
You feel it weighs about 2 pounds. He says, "Do you feel that?
Mhm.
Do you feel that?"
Oh, it's quality. It's very well constructed.
It is, but hold on. Hold it with your hand. And he reaches over and he kind of struggles in a almost dramatic fashion with this
Uh-huh.
iron javelin. And he says, "Hold this with your other hand." it weighs a good, like it's like a 9-pound javelin. It's not reasonable, definitely for show. He says,
Yeah.
put it in the quiver. It sinks all the way in, where just the top is out of it. The quiver does not increase in weight at all. Still weighs the 2 pounds.
Ooh.
Now,
This is a fine item. I
tell
am
you.
very interested in this item. I would like my other adventuring party members to. Maybe you have some items that they'd like to see as well.
I could. I think I've done a good job by not showing you any rings of fireballs, though.
Not yet. The deal is not done yet.
Well, what could
Don't
I do for the
mind
rest
them.
of you, aside from making sure that your companion does not burn you all alive?
I mean, we do appreciate that.
You did have one in the storeroom, you said, so
I
it's still on
may
the table.
have one.
I think he misspoke. I think he was thinking of a ring of fire starting, just a little campfire. Starts a little campfire. I've heard of that. It's very popular. Right?
It's a little flint ring.
Have
Is there
you
something you
got anything that would improve someone's night vision?
I do. It's very fancy, though. And when I say that, I mean it appears ornamental. Just a moment. And he goes back and he comes back with these goggles. They're clearly like they're very ornate. They have like large, they're fairly large goggles in the first place, and then they have these little magnifiers that you can switch down from to remove us from the game for a moment. They're very steampunky kind of looking goggles. So they're ornate, kind of shiny, bright copper. Not they don't have patina on them at the moment, at least. And then they've got little magnifiers off on the sides of their eyes. They're all very ornate, but very good for what you are possibly looking for. Not only with these goggles could you see better at night, if that's your desire, but these have a special extra trick if you're keen on looking at, well, let's just say other things. And he sort of hands them over to you.
I will put him on, try it out, see if I can figure out what he's referring to.
Okay. So yeah, you put them on, and you definitely could see in the dark. He points you a direction, and they work very much like the way you would expect Errant has been able to see at night this whole time. You can see pretty clearly, though in a slightly different vision than your normal vision. A good, like farther than this room, 60 feet out, you would be able to see. However, what you also see is, as you kind of look around, at first you don't see anything, and he can tell that you're kind of looking. He goes, I see you're looking. Come here for a moment. And he points you over at this, like when you first walked in, it looked like a suit of armor sitting in the corner. It's got it very stalwart, guardian pose, a halberd in its hand. And when you look through it, like when you pull one of those magnifiers down and look through it, you can see that it is animate. You can see that it is not just magical, but you can see what it is. It's got some sort of illusionary magic on it to make it look like this suit of armor, but in truth, it actually looks like some sort of magical being that you've seen members of your party use before, like an unseen servant type thing. He says, now this is not cheap, but incredibly useful.
I see. I'll take him off. Very impressive. What's the little tag say for those guys?
The tag says 10,000 gold.
But Kay would almost be able to see into time and space with her perception.
So
Right.
to be really on to be game, because it's important to be kind of meta game here in this instance, you're 100% sure you could see invisible creatures or anything with an illusionary disguise on themselves that look like anything else. You'd see their true form. And you'd be able to
That's good
see.
investment.
So you'd be able to see all invisibility and anybody's true form. But only when you. So they are two-stage, like you have the goggles on, and then that's just dark vision, basically. And then you flip down that extra magnifier, and you can then look around and see, like, true scene.
I don't know how we've done without these goggles.
No,
We
this
need
is a boon
those.
for us on our party. And for Kay, the super perceptor is even more super.
Yeah. And now she'll be the. Well, we got to get the lizard man some see in the dark thing, and then we'll all be able to see in the dark.
Now, the rain is gone.
Is there? I ask him. Our lizard man tends to be a meat shield when we go into battle. Is there any? Do you have anything that would assist him with his armor class or his protection? Not necessarily just armor. You said you don't have much of that, but is there anything you might have to help him?
I do have this one item here. I've been holding on to it for a while. Perhaps I could find it. Give me a moment. And he kind of goes back, lets you look around at all this stuff. As you're looking around at things, you see a couple of bags hanging on the wall.
Ooh, bag of holding?
That pull into your attention, probably because
What
of
are they
that.
made of?
Leather, as near as you can tell.
Do they say bag of
The
holding on the little
skins of-
tag?
I think it just says
Children
number
and
nine.
goats.
If you look at the tag, so while you're going back there, if you look at the tag,
You always
it
gotta
does not
look at
say
the tag.
bag of holding. It says 1,000 gold pieces, extended extra dimensional space folding.
I.e. bag
Wow,
of
that
holding.
guy's got some shiny handwriting.
And
All that in a little
Yeah,
tag.
he does. Yeah, wow. He's got magic handwriting.
And so he comes back out, and he's got this amulet. And this amulet, he says, this would help you. Again, unfortunately, this is also another expensive item. 10,000 gold, again. And so when you look at it, it's got, it looks like, he says it's not very pleasant to look at. And it looks like a finger knuckle bone of a dragon or something.
Ooh.
You're not
cool.
entirely sure on this amulet. So I'll just metagame for you a little bit. It would set your constitution, the wearer's constitution, at a 19.
Wow.
Wow.
That's really cool. That's awfully expensive.
And
I think
then-
I think I think I would pass on that just because it's really expensive. We got other things we can use. You know, when I go into a rage, I don't take as much damage, so
Well, I understand.
That would increase the number of your hit points, not your armor class.
Every
Yeah.
2 points of that above your current amount, yeah, your hit points would go up for 1 per level, basically.
Now, isn't our cleric looking for a ring of water breathing? He's got
Yes.
water
Yeah.
walking,
Yes,
right?
he is looking.
Yeah.
He wants water breathing
He
really
could-
bad.
So
Oh, not as bad as a fireball ring. That's all
He
I'm
needs
having
to be
say
an
right
aquadorf.
there.
He needs
I'm
his
gonna ask
aquadorf.
if-
Aquadorf.
I'm going to ask for the cleric
Yes.
if there's anything he's got available that would allow water breathing.
Or any article of clothing that's otter related.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Well, we should
s-
describe his otter pants and see if he's got a matching
well, I'll tell you
matching
what.
vest.
It's reasonably priced actually. It's just 1,000 gold. There is this necklace, and he goes back and he brings out. He's well, I don't know if you've the Steele family. Their son. They had great hopes for him, and he went off. Ostensibly for a year to learn about himself. He came back and after his father died and had to take over the business, but he did turn this in, and so he pulls up this. Basically, it's a puka shell necklace.
Ooh. Yeah, he needs some puka
All
shells.
right.
Yeah.
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 And he says, "Here, if you put this shell into your mouth." And the necklace, if it was hanging on, you just pop it up into your mouth. He says, you can breathe through it in any environment.
Mm,
Wow.
that sounds like something he'd
Ooh.
like.
Yeah.
So it would certainly do
Oh.
for water breathing.
Let's get it for
that's
him.
that's a
Yeah.
sale right there.
Okay,
How much is that?
That's 1,000 gold.
Oh, that's yeah.
You could get 26 of those.
Well, now and the cool
Puka
dog.
necklaces
Yes.
for everybody.
He's only got one though.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
damn
so
it.
I what I want now is just corn cob with otter pants and a puka shell necklace.
Yeah.
I don't wanna-
That needs to be a sculpt.
Yep.
Maybe a Hawaiian shirt.
Maybe a Hawaiian shirt with a
He
board
had
somewhere.
riding his water elemental into battle on a shield, riding a shield like a surfboard on his water elemental.
So yeah, so he's just perfect. We can hand this over. 1,000 gold. Are there other items you're looking for? We have a great deal of things. Many of them are not very special to what I can see your line of work might be.
Now, in ancient times, our party got a decanter a magical decanter. What does that do?
Endless water. We have endless water.
It's endless water. Okay. And who has control of that?
It's in my inventory currently.
Okay, cool.
I haven't watered anything lately, but I use that wind fan a lot, so I would be interested in items that grant access to additional spells. I'm a magic user, but my magic is somewhat weak. I can only do so much at a time, so items that allow me to extend my range are always of interest.
Well, we usually deal in unusual heirlooms, and we do have one such item. It is unusual, however. He goes back and he comes in. He says, "This will hold some extra spells for you."
Ooh.
And he sort of pulls over this. I don't know. It is a blouse. Probably is the best way to describe it. It looks like something like a duelist might wear, some musketeer somewhere.
I like this style of
It's,
fashion.
Is it black? Does it smell of sulfur?
it is not. It is. It's actually.
I can add the sulfur smell later. Don't worry about that.
It's probably cerulean if you were to give it a color,
Ooh,
and
pretty.
it's very, very flamboyant everywhere. There's like a bunch of lace down the front and the arms, sleeves. It's a shirt, but a very frilly, lightweight shirt.
Like Seinfeld's pirate shirt.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
There you go.
And how does it work to hold more spells?
Well, you cast them into it in advance, and then you can cast them out of it later, up to 5 levels of spells.
Mm.
So it's
I am
basically
intrigued.
they make rings of spell storing. This is a shirt of spell storing, or a blouse of spell storing, if you will, however you want to say it. And it will hold 5 levels of spells. So you could do 5 first level spells or 1 fifth level spell, but they do have to be cast into it in advance. So if you don't know the spell, it won't do you any good. But if you know
Backups of the spells that I know. That's still good.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do they want for that? That's really powerful.
Not much, actually. He's looking for 2,500 gold.
Wow.
Pick it up. Get it.
I say yes. We want our
Yeah.
half demon monstrosity to be able to cast lots of spells.
Just think how many fireballs she could cast.
Yeah, well, it'd be
Exactly.
one extra
Right.
fireball.
One, because
One
she
extra
put it in
fireball.
there at 5th level. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's third level. I mean, at third level.
You-
So
you
that I'd
put-
have something on.
But you could put it in at 5th level if you wanted. Wait,
I
can
don't
you
think I
cast?
know fifth level
Can you
spell
cast a
yet.
5th level spell? No, you can't.
I don't think
Never
I
mind.
can yet. But eventually.
Yes. Okay, so
No.
so he says, but I've been offering you these things, and of course this is a business where I take in things so I can sell them to other people. So you must have things I can take off your hands.
Have they come back with our list
Yes,
yet of
so
our
they
items?
came back with your list of items. And I sent you all an email of their value. And that has not changed. I will, that is accurate. So it's a fair amount. Remember, most of these are not, most or all, are not magical.
Mm-hmm.
They're just worth a lot. And they are fancy, and the benefit is he sort of lights up at the items as you list them off, because he's in an area of town where these things will do well. So he's not going to be in a hard spot to resell them. You have statues and paintings and antique swords and bolts of silk and a bunch of stuff that it's useless in some parts of the world and some areas of town, but not here.
It's great for people
We
in houses,
see,
unlike us.
we see what, I don't know, I have to ask the rest of the party, but we see what he would kind of offer on bulk, on lot of what everything that we have, and maybe we can, while asking him to take a look at that, saying, we're looking maybe to make a trade here and unload some things that we can't carry that you could do well with, and to you to part with some stuff that you probably couldn't get rid of as easily.
Now, to my party, I do wonder if we should keep the saffron. It's something we could use to impress people or for small trades, and it's light while
That's
we're
true.
traveling.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We
should
got
keep
all the other,
saffron
get
for
rid
now.
of the heavy shit first. And what about the fabric or whatever? You want to get rid of that?
Yeah, that's heavy and hard to hold around.
Yeah.
I mean, I need a new outfit to go with my shirt now, but I can deal with that later.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
it's-
Oh,
So
sorry.
we
go
have what, about 6,500 gold and in undamaged silk.
Yes.
It's a lot of. I mean, it's
A
a
lot.
lot of silk.
And he will be happy to pay you 3,000 for your damaged silk. Says, don't worry, I can manage this. I've done this before. Half bolts are interesting, but you wouldn't think they do well, but they sell well to certain smaller folk communities.
Those gnomes, those little pesky pecks. Yes, I'm sure they would do well with the half lots of silk. Those little diminutive stooges.
Well,
Oof, wow.
we've got about, according to my math, the email says we got 6,500 gold piece value of undamaged silk, and then the other objets d'art are worth about 4,750, and that doesn't include the saffron.
Yeah. And he's happy to
And
give
he's
you
willing to-
those prices for it.
In trade.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's about 11 grand, 11,000. Yeah. Okay.
Well, so why don't we use that for Kay's
Those,
goggles
yeah, those
and
goggles.
the shirt
goggles over
and
here.
the quiver and the bags of holding and the Puka necklace, and then we just pay for the rest.
The goggles are 10. The Puka necklace is $1,000. So right there, we're done.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest
good
comes
with
out
that.
of our cash.
Yeah. Get the Puka
Well-
necklace and the goggles. Okay.
But we also
So-
we got it. Abran needs that quiver.
Yeah, so we've got
I
the
agree.
quiver for 800, the goggles for
And-
10, the Puka necklace
shirt was-
for 1,000, and the shirt for 2,500.
And then
So
the
Well, then how much
bag,
does
was
the
it just
bag
one
cost?
or 2 bags of holding? Or dimensional, whatever they were.
One.
We need to ask
well,
him about those.
there were 2 bags. Well, there's really only one you're interested in. The other one is, you can tell immediately it's the same. I'm assuming Kay is going to look at these, and just her passive perception can tell that it's not quality. It's a substandard bag of holding. It would be a bag of holding, but it's like it's broken. It doesn't hold as much.
Okay,
And-
so just the one then. So that's what that was 1,000. The shirt was 2,500, and the quiver was 8. Is that right?
Mhm.
So 43, and then Pugh, is there anything you wanted?
Does he have anything naturey or musically or anything?
Boots of elf stomping.
Oh, you know what would be handy? Yeah, that I could use some boots of elf stomping.
I'm going to stuff you in my
But-
quiver.
What would be handy?
What would be handy is something that would allow me to do harm to those who wish to harm me. Right now, the only thing I'm armed with is this tiny crossbow that the elf mocks me for, and that's I really that's all I can. When we're in a scrap, the only thing I can really ever do is shoot toothpicks at people.
Well, he looks around conspiratorially, leans down
Sure.
and says, "Well, I have an item. Some members of your party may not be happy I'm offering it to you. It's a necklace. I would sell it to you for 3,000 gold."
Woo!
Well, it sounds like a lot, but hold on, I'm going to roll here real quick. Ooh, good number. He pulls it out. It's got 7 beads hanging from it. And he says, look, each one of these beads, if you pull them off and throw it, it is indeed a ball of fire.
Oh, yes! That's
Traitor.
worth $3,000 just to piss the elf off.
Traitor.
Oh, man. How can I not buy that?
Indeed, how
but
could you not?
How many beads are there?
7. There are 7 on there.
But do they grow back, or is
They
there
do
only
not.
7 shots?
They do
for
not
this?
grow back. There's only 7 shots of it.
Go back.
You only get
Yeah.
7 shots for 3,000?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a
That-
little too steep.
That's a little too steep.
I understand. It's
I
hard.
offer him
It's
2,000.
also a lovely. It's also a lovely piece of jewel work that, in and of itself, is worth 1,000 in materials. So, to be
Yeah.
fair, you're only paying 2,000 for the magic. But I understand it's temporary.
The gnome
Man,
wastes
it's-
shots all the time. With his accuracy, those beads, we'd be lucky if half of them resulted in damage to the enemy. That is.
Ooh, it's so tempting just to have it so the elf doesn't.
He walks back and he clasps it around this mannequin. Finely dressed. Well,
Think of it this way, Pujol. If you had it, probably all that would happen was the elf would decide to throw you.
Yeah.
Throw a bead, or I'm throwing you. Got a choice.
Yeah. Seven fireballs, that's a little steep.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, let's see. You're looking for, and do you shoot bows?
Let's see what I
Not these crossbows, but real bows, mind you.
Yes. Real man's bow.
I am
That's your tiny little baby crossbow.
simple weapons. I'm only proficient in crossbow, hand crossbow, longsword, rapier, sword, and simple weapons. So,
Well, I do have these darts. Now, when he says darts, he doesn't mean like our playing darts, right? He means actual battle darts. They're closer to like lawn
like
darts.
little javelins.
Yeah, they're like little
Like baby javelins for
fletched
a
javelins.
gnome.
These are magical in nature. For 700 gold, you could have this set of 3. So all this is +1 darts. If we're just gonna metagame.
Okay.
And you can retrieve them and use them again.
Yes, absolutely. You could, assuming you don't throw them off the side of a ship into the sea or something. Yes.
Or you stick it in something and it runs away.
That too.
Yeah, nah.
You need a
Thank you.
rapier.
Yeah, what about a rapier? You don't have a...
I'm not.
Yeah,
I have
but
an
he's not going
armor
to get
class of
close
12.
to fight.
Go with anything.
I am
Stands
not
at the
getting
back
that
of the
close. Yes, I have an armor
okay.
class of 12.
I have something for you.
Go to an actual weapon shop later.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is not a
yeah.
weapon shop. It's going to be
Yep.
like jewelry and weird eccentric things. He says one
right,
more
then-
thing before you decide to leave, friend.
Okay.
And he goes back and he comes out with a necklace, and it's like a pearl necklace. The bottom one, though. Somehow I knew I was going to get that. The bottom one, though, is slightly larger, and he says, this is a pearl of power.
Ooh.
So you can extend your magical abilities farther with it. And metagame-wise, basically, once per day, or once after you use it, you get a 3rd level spell slot you can get from it.
Wow.
Would he be allowed to wear that at the same time as the dragon cell phone necklace?
Yes. So it doesn't. We don't care about. We only care about number of attuned items, not where they are. You could put a bunch of necklaces on yourself if you wanted to. He could wear the Puka and this, and he could wear all of them.
That might be better around Fathom's neck, actually.
Maybe. Once per day, you get basically a 3rd level spell slot. It will grant you.
Which is far.
That's pretty
How much does he
powerful.
want for it?
He only wants
Fireball.
He only wants 1,200 gold.
I think we should give it to Fathom.
Or give it to the elf. Fathom could load a fireball spell in it, and I could shoot it off.
No. So this one does not work like that. That's the other item. This one gives you a 3rd level spell slot. You have to have the ability to put your own spell in it.
Oh,
It
details.
just lets you extend your own power. So you could use it,
D&D
though,
rules.
but it would be your own spells.
No,
They're there
this
to
defeats the
protect
whole
you,
purpose.
Abran.
Yeah.
Unlike the shirt, you don't have to preload the spell. It's just an extra slot.
Every day, yes.
All my best
Yeah,
spells
we
are
need-
3rd level.
Yeah, we need
Then all
that,
your
and
best
we should
spells
give
are
it to
3rd level.
Fathom.
Yeah. Well,
Don't
let's
you have
get it.
invisibility though? You have invisibility in fly, I think, or is that through your?
Through his war harp, battle harp.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got some fancy
I-
strings for the battle harp.
I can cast
Ooh.
invisibility and fly. But no,
Yeah.
fly
Those are
is from the
useful.
harp. Fly is from the harp. Invisibility is from being a bard. But I say that's a pretty juicy critter. I say it's
Yeah,
worth
we
the
should
money.
get it.
And I think
I
we should
agree.
give it to our half demon hell freak.
Oh, freak.
You're lucky I'm distracted by my beautiful cerulean shirt.
Yeah.
Yes. Fancy. You're so fancy.
I have ruffles now.
You have ruffles.
Ruffles have ridges.
I was about to say ruffles have ruffles have horns. So I'm afraid that these are the kind of items we have here. Nothing really other than ornamental or not items of direct combat and battle.
Well, I think we've
Very good.
done very well. I think we've found a lot of things that we can use.
Yeah,
for sure.
extremely useful.
You have some interesting treasures.
Thank you. Most of them are heirlooms. It's a shame, really, but that's okay. It keeps me in business. Now, yes. So we've handed. He hands. You've done the trade. You've got the items. He says, "This is all wonderful." I'm wondering, though. You seem like a group of adventurers, you might say. And this item that you put back seemed of interest to you.
The elf.
Perhaps. So you put
You're talking
two
about
items.
the dragon bone?
Yeah, you put 2 items back. One was the dragon bone, and one was the ring of fireballs, basically. Right?
Oh.
So I am willing to take responsibility for certain things personally, but perhaps not with the church, if you understand my meaning. So I have perhaps, and I try to make reasonable and responsible decisions when I make deals with people and sales as well. But something that I sold has ended up in hands that, they're not dealing with it properly. And if you were willing to do this task for me and get this item back, I would be happy to give you these 2 items.
Shopkeeper, it
he's
sounds like we get to roll for initiative, and I am for this plan.
and this what he's saying is he doesn't want to put this on the bulletin board. He's looking for a private contract.
Yes, yeah. What he's
That's
saying
the
is
kind of people we are.
he wants to fix this, but he doesn't want the church involved because what he did is questionable.
Can he tell us what this magical item is and what it's capable of?
We'd probably have to agree to do it first, right?
I've already agreed.
Well,
You'd agree
he'll
to-
I've
I've
already.
already agreed.
Well,
we've already agreed.
I don't know if you noticed as you were going through. Well, you probably didn't. I don't assume you came in off the ship, but there was a deckhand that came in, and through whatever bargainings that we made, I gave him a wand, and this wand.
Fireballs?
No, it's well, if you use it incorrectly, which he has, I've been told, use it on plants, they become. Well, I'm not sure what's happening, and this is my dilemma. I should not have perhaps sold this item. I should have studied it more, but it came in quickly. He was willing to pay for it quickly, but it definitely corrupts the plants, gives them a form of demented sentience. But perhaps more concerningly is I don't know exactly what it does. I've gotten right before you came in. I was just leaving actually to check in on it. It seems as though it is possible that these plants are birthing spawn from another realm. I don't know. I want to be sure of this before. However, I feel like I'm outclassed and overwhelmed, and you are just the right people to help me with this.
Where do you think this rogue is?
Well, he was a deckhand. I imagine he is at the ship that is still docked and unloading at the cliffside.
So this was a
Let's
very
go.
recent
So-
Let's go find this plant befouler.
So
where's
if
the-
we
where are the
take care
affected
of
plants?
him, and I'd like to ask him another question. What would you like done with him? Do you just want the wand back? Do you want him dead?
I mean nobody harm. I just feel like this wand needs to be back in safe hands that won't abuse it and bring otherworldly beings here.
Are these
to wreak
hands your
havoc.
hands, or do you want to resell this wand? Or
No, I
if-
don't. I want
if
to
it's
take it off
removed
the
from
market.
him,
I would
Okay.
like it. And
Now,
I won't.
in
will not
his
be selling it.
opinion, this sailor's abuse of the wand has caused the sailor to forfeit his ownership.
Yes.
He doesn't want to. Okay.
He's going to get in trouble
So-
with the church if they find out that he sold it, right?
Yeah, there's definitely that too, and that's clear in his talking about like he should not have unleashed this kind of magic.
So he just wants to undo the sale.
Yep.
Is he willing to give the man back his money?
Of course. It was a large sale.
Well, I think we can convince him he needs to return the wand and get his money back.
let's
Excellent.
kill him and
Here
keep the
is the
wand.
receipt, and he hands it to you. And when he does, you read it instantly at the bottom. You see that this deckhand bought this for 12,000 gold.
Crazy.
What?
What? What is he?
What did you think
Hey,
it
no
The
did?
problem.
deckhand
when you
get
sold
$12,000. 12,000
Yeah.
gold pieces.
it? Hmm.
I would like to ask him if he knew this deckhand previously to this sale, or how long did this wand I asked him how long, if he knew the deckhand previous to sale. Plus, when this wand came in, how quickly was he there to buy it, and how did he know to buy it?
Well, and that's my fault, you see. I sold it very quickly. It came on the same ship that they came in on. And so he knew of its abilities already. And when I bought it, I was told one thing, and which is true, and that is that it can create extra growth in plants, and which is quite bountiful, you could imagine. I did not know, however, that it is possible that this item has a curse upon it, and that's where this dilemma comes in. So I also do not know if he'll willingly part with it, I'm afraid. But please keep that in mind, that it could have a hold on him. And that's what I've gone to find out. But I'm far less capable than you.
Now, this fellow, did we ask him if he is familiar with Miss Fairweather already?
I don't think so.
I'd like to ask his opinion. Is he familiar with the Fairweather family? And
oh,
I would
yes,
like to ask
Margaret. I'm very familiar with Margaret Fairweather and her family. Yes, wonderful people.
Don't you think she would have been the one to be interested in this particular item?
I have no idea. I don't. She doesn't. She doesn't frequent our shop, to be honest. She seems content and happy. Her family always has. I've never looked to bargain or deal or better themselves via magical means, if you will. I think
they do have
cousin
remarkable
once
green
sold us
thumbs.
a wonderful couch.
Yes, they're very interested in plants, though, aren't they?
Yes, they have remarkable green thumbs.
Oh, they do, absolutely. It's legendary.
So I was just putting two and two together and thinking they might have been the perfect client for this wand if you wanted it not to be abused.
Well, you would think perhaps that, but I've found that people already good with things rarely want the things that would make them good with those things.
Very good. That makes sense.
You might find some competition with the boxers, though. Johan and Sarah Boxer are always jealous of the Fairweather stuff, but that's neither here nor there.
Now, does he know where these corrupted plants can be found? If we wanted to go look at them.
We have got a note of them from the shipyard itself, we were told. Unfortunately, we're popping up. It's not gotten bad yet, I understand, but it worries me that all still the same.
So does he have a point of contact at the shipyard that would be able to give us information on how these plants manifest?
He was truly planning on going down there himself. You know that it's a wand, and you point it at a plant.
Let's go down to the shipyard and check it out.
Let's go down there. Should we bring him with just to help us locate this guy and locate the wand, or does he not want to go? He'd just rather have us go.
The sale happened last night.
Okay, so well after the evil tree episode.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Can he give us a good description if he doesn't wish to come with us?
Absolutely. So the deckhand was a dwarf, was very gruff.
Did he have otter pants on?
He did not have otter pants on. He had like armor on, though, like real armor in some places, and he was I don't know, very matter of fact, very businesslike, and said he wanted an item that his ship just brought in, and they had said, well, the whole arrangement that he sort of paraphrases is that they weren't going to give it to him on the ship, and they said, well, we want to get our money from it. We're going to get what we can, and then it's your business after that. You can try to get it. So he then got it.
So they used this guy as a broker?
Yes, exactly.
And what's what's the ship?
Oh, the ship is the Maiden.
Maiden.
Okay.
Well,
let's go sick our elf on this guy.
Okay, so let me tell you something about the area as you get out and you start to go down. This area is called the Cliffs, and well, let me get on camera here because we're going to keep this in mind. So the Cliffs is as the ocean comes in, you have the ocean coming ashore. You have all these mud flats, which is where you've been in the town of Ven. It's the clamming. Also some of the shallower docks and things like that, although there's one deep area of docks. And that's where the bulk of the town is. However, as I keep mentioning, there is a part, the river comes in, and there's a part of Ven that's, there's a large mountainous type rocky cliff area. And on top of that, this is the rich area of town that you're currently in. It's on the top of the cliffs, out looking over the sea. There's a sheer stone cliff, and as you approach it, there's a stone stairs cut into it. It goes down fairly steep, and then docks are built. There's not even attached to the cliffs, just sort of out, and you can tell that the pylons, pillars, I forget the word, sorry, are like drove into stone that's just hanging out at different levels, and then it gets very deep very quickly. So some of the biggest ships can come in. There's only room for really one at a time, but you can get some of the biggest ships right into town here, and they don't have to ferry stuff in and out, and then they carry it up these stone steps onto the richer side of Ven up here. So then this whole upper area is called the Cliffs. Okay, so you go down the steps. I think 2's good, John. You go down the steps and you see this large dock area. Now I have you on multiple cameras. So
I still want to know how a deckhand made 12,000 gold.
That is a huge question.
Like maybe we're in the wrong
field. There must be something shady. You realize immediately as soon as he said that there's something shady about it, and that it happened so quickly.
Like he should have realized there was something hinky about that.
You feel like he did. So Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, dude's defense, probably 90% of his business is shady.
Still, that's a big haul. 12,000.
He just dealt with us.
Yeah, he took it. He did the work as a fence, would do the work, and you can see though that he tries to be. You could just tell from his personality and insightful, just your passive insights about him. He tries to be on the level, but you feel like money got the better of him in this situation, and he did it quick, and he didn't think about it, and he regretted it, and then he started hearing things.
Well, now he's trying to make it right. So
now he's trying to make it right.
We sold stuff to the tree lady.
Yeah. So as you come down, so this bridge you see is straight, but it's not actually straight. It comes very down steeply from the mountains. You get onto the docks, you immediately see 2 plants. You see a little bit of dock, and these plants, you have the goggles, I assume, Kay.
Yep.
They are...
Yeah.
They are...
I'm sorry, do we...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, did we do the whole trading with the ledger thing for the 5,500 gold pieces for everything? Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure.
So you see these plants.
So everything's been exchanged except for the 2 items that he's offered in exchange for this job.
Yes, when you get this wand back, he will give you those items.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see these 2 plants, and they are sort of flailing out, and there is like, I don't know, there's this area, there's this feeling of unease sort of about them. As you kind of look up, they do look like normal plants. They look enlarged a little bit, but if you take a moment to look at them with any kind of true sight type item or detect magic, and I'm just going to push this a little bit because I want to get us in the right spot. Detect magic, you see they're magical, and with true sight, you actually see almost like you've seen undead before, Kay. And they're half like, you would say half decomposing, but these aren't like human undead. They almost seem like devils or demons that are bound, and you can see their feet are buried down into a stalk, and they almost merge down into it, but their bodies you can see through the plant, outwardly looking to expand, looking and almost like they're pulsing out with energy, and they turn and look at you as you come down the stairs to watch.
And it's just the two green ones, not whatever's on the cart, right?
Correct.
And do they have any resemblance to a natural plant?
To all of you, absolutely. They look like a very, very large, a very, very bushy hemp plant.
Except that's not where plants would grow.
But that's not at all where plants would grow.
And so they're not in a planter or anything like that?
No. And that, I have to stop it here, though, for the game before you guys get any farther.
Oh, you should have said, roll for initiative.
What?
I'd
continue next week.
I'd want to say that, but I want to say that just as you're seeing that, like you can see their energy reaching out, and it's sort of a dark and foreboding sort of feel as it kind of strikes out, not at anybody. It's just striking out at the area around it. And maybe it's going to be some sort of Halloween-like episode next time.
Oh,
that's a Flash Gordon cliffhanger.
I have to do that occasionally. We're going to be close.
Halloween being pretty scary.
We're going to be close to the Halloween time frame, and it'll be the only time for Reaper Errant to be around that. So that's where we're ending this evening.
Yeah.
Wow, it'd be better to have our cleric with us to fight demon plants anyway.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Does look like I have a cleric situation.
So
he'll put that Puka necklace in his mouth and dive right in the water.
I love that we got him Puka water breathing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He'll love it.
Okay, so that's the end of the game this evening. It's kind of a cliffhanger, sort of a bit of a shopping, get prepared episode, departure. But you sold the wagon, you sold the ship, you're wrapping up some ends. I'm going to say a quick thank you to everyone out there. Thank you so much to the players. Thank you for all the watchers. I am glad that you're invested enough to watch a game as people get geared up for stuff, because then you know what they have in store while you're out there watching, going, why aren't you pulling out the necklace of Puka fireballs? Or whatever they might have. Which is
Those have to be extra 80s fireballs.
So, yeah. Thank you, and I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Sirenscape for the background and ambient music you heard a couple times, and thank you to Reaper John for being our technical director this evening. I'm going to let all the players plug what they want to and say good evening themselves, and I'll start up with Bobby.
I don't have anything to plug, but I want to say thanks to Frank and all of the support folks, and everybody. I hope she's back in action soon, and I had a great time as usual, and cliffhangers are nervous making.
And we're right next to a literal cliff.
Yeah, it's a literal cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Dun, dun,
A literal
dun.
cliffhanger.
Thank you. Okay. Gene.
I'll say thanks to you, Frank, and John, and all the players. We had a great time tonight, and everybody that's watching, thanks for hanging in there with us. And Can't wait for the Halloween episode. Sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks, guys.
Thank you. Michael.
I think we all kind of entered this episode with a little bit of a heavy heart and a sad heart. Our friend Jason wasn't able to join us tonight. He lost his little buddy Frankie today. I want to dedicate this show to Frankie, and our good buddy, our brother, and hopefully he'll be back next time, and we'll kick the shit out of these plants and that one dude.
Fair. Thank you. Rhonda.
I also want to say thank you to Nightheart and all the people who watched, and John for dealing with the technical stuff. I didn't even understand anything you guys were talking about at the beginning. It was also technical. I will plug, so Monday on Beyond the Kit, I'm going to paint Betty the Ghost Bride Bonsylvanian to try to match kind of how I did the store model. So it's not going to look exactly like that because I only have 2 hours, but it's a monochromatic color scheme. So if you've ever been curious about painting in a monochromatic color scheme, that's what I'm going to be doing Monday.
Oh, nice. Love that. Jen.
I'm just going to reiterate what everyone else has said. Had a great time as usual. Thank you all, and looking forward to next time.
Thank you. Okay, well, John, and you say what you wish. All right, we are starting up a raid, the Pyro Club. All right, well, say hi to us. Say
Just
hi
for Michael.
to them. It's canceled. Wait, we're going. All right, so we're going to the Pyro Club. Say hi for us and do all the Reaper love. And
to the Pyro
thank
Club.
you, Gene. Thank you, Gene. And we'll see you next time. See you in 2 weeks to finish up and have a little Halloween spooky episode. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, I'm going to go stop the stream then. Thank you, John. Hold on.